Is it normal for my weight to fluctuate so much? For context, I'm 185 centimeters. Dude, these freaking metric system people.
Do you want me to look it up?
Yeah, please. 185 centimeters. I'm going to say 6'1".
Let's see.
6'1".
6 foot?
Oh, I'm close. Okay. 6 feet.
6 feet and 0.8 inches.
I'm going to give him 6'1". Round up, baby.
You can give him 6.
My tall king. And I'm trying to gain. I weigh myself every 2 days at the same time in the morning.
Okay.
And Wednesday, I weighed 78.7 kilos, which is going to be 157 pounds, maybe?
173.5.
Okay. And today I weighed in at only 77.4 kilos. Wow.
So he was 173.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops.
That's about a 2 kilo drop fluctuation. So a 4.4 pound.
Come on.
What's happening?
I'm trying to...
See, technical difficulties.
Yeah, he lost 3 pounds.
3 pounds, yeah.
That's not that much pounds.
Listen, we're going to get there. I haven't starved myself or eaten drastically less between these days either. Any ideas what it may be?
Did he weigh himself at the same time?
Yes, that's what he said.
Okay.
He said that's what he claimed.
I was too busy having technical difficulties.
I know.
I'm sorry.
He's weighing himself at the same time. His weight is fluctuating. This goes back to having somebody who is not emotionally connected kind of guide you here. This is 1,000% normal.
Right.
Weight is transient.
It absolutely is.
Like, there are so many things that affect human beings' weight. So on the male side and especially on the female side of things.
Yeah, that's like 1.5% of his total body weight.
This is the thing, though. When you are deep in the weeds trying to make a change, these fluctuations seem like the world is crumbling down.
Oh,
around
absolutely.
you. I've experienced the same thing.
I have too, actually.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I have too. But like, I mean, my body weight fluctuates within that same number of pounds, 3 to 5 pounds.
Dude.
And that's a much higher percentage of my usual body weight than it is for him. Yeah, I mean, yours
you want to tell people how much my body weight fluctuates?
Yours can vary by 5 to 10 pounds.
There have been nights where I have lost 8 or 9 pounds. Overnight. There was a moment in the heat of the summer where I would go into the gym. I work out in a gym with no air conditioning.
Yeah.
So I'm sweating like crazy. I would go in. I think I would come back down 12, 13 pounds.
Just after a 2-hour workout.
After a 2-hour workout.
Yeah.
The body is primarily made up of water. Mm-hmm. Water in a lot of different forms. Mm-hmm. If you're training, you're depleting water, you're depleting glycogen. Mm-hmm. If you are not adequately recovering all of those things, that's going to cause a fluctuation overnight. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing, dude. Eat some more carbs the next day, refill, you're going to be good.
Yeah. I mean, your weight day to day depends so much on what you ate the day before, your macronutrients, your micronutrients. Did you drink alcohol yesterday?
Are you pooping?
Are you constipated?
Like, that's massive.
Yeah. What are your hormones like? Are you stressed?
I'll tell you what.
I mean, there's so many factors.
Whoever invents a reliable way to just measure body fat is going to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
Because the scale is a liar.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
Because the scale is not measuring your lean tissue or your fat-free mass or your fat mass.
And the crazy thing is like even the things that we have that measure these things, like the bod pod or whatever you have at the gym, they're fine. They're expensive and hard to consistently use.
Someone out there, if you invent a at-home scale that reliably measures body fat.
I don't know if it's possible.
I don't think it is possible because
it would have to be some kind of scanner.
I think it would have been invented already had the technology. But
just a scale is never gonna do that.
No.
Yeah.
And even the I hate to break it to you, but the scales that you're using at home that claim to be measuring your body fat.
Yeah, no, they're not.
What they are doing, they are pretty decent at measuring changes in tissue. Mm-hmm. But they're not reliable in measuring your actual percentages.
Right.
So if you step on it and it says, oh, you got 27% body fat, it's taking into account the amount of water because what it does is it uses electrical current to go through a section of your body. And based on how fast that goes, it uses an algorithm to spits out what it thinks is body fat.
Yeah.
So I have used our little bioelectrical handheld impedance machine at the gym. I've measured. I have drank 2 bottles of water within 5 minutes. I have remeasured, and my body fat percentage was up 3%. So just to let you know, they're not incredibly accurate.
No.
They can be used to track trends.
Over time.
Right?
Yeah.
But the problem is we don't have a reliable way to really know muscle mass changes on a massing phase and body fat reduction on a deficit phase. And that's why we get into trouble here, because you're just looking at a scale number and you're not really taking into account the context of everything else that's going around.
It's just a data point. And I think when you have a fluctuation in your weight that you notice, the next step then is not to say, why is my weight changing? It's to say, what's been going on in my life that might have caused this.
Again, this is why you need a rational actor with you, because the emotions that we connect to.
There have been so many times you and I have done that for each other.
Oh my God, yes.
I mean, countless times.
You talk me off the ledge a ton when I'm in a deficit phase.
Yeah.
You absolutely do. Yeah. But that's the other thing why there's a video on my channel about macro factor. Please go watch it.
Yeah, great video.
Because it's one of my best performing videos.
It is. I think it might be the best performing.
But and I'm still a big fan of this app. But the reason that I really like it is because it uses body weight trends as opposed to specific individual data points to set your nutrition. Yeah. And the algorithm that it uses is actually very robust and it's very sturdy, meaning it takes 4 or 5 data points before it'll start to move you down in calories or up in calories.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
That's great.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like your weight has to change in the same direction for 5 straight days.
Sometimes
before
more.
It will tell you to change your diet.
Yeah. I think it's very, very helpful because it takes away that level of the big concern always stems from, I'm putting in all this work. What if I'm putting in all this work and I am the one human being that the laws of thermodynamics do not apply to?
You're not that special, first of all.
But you start to play mind games, man.
Absolutely. But it's nice to know that, with that type of data tracking, your weight can fluctuate within 3-5 pounds, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And it's not going to change your plan because your plan doesn't need to change.
Exactly. I think we need to do a better job of moving away from daily weigh-ins outside of a context of a physique sport. I think daily weigh-ins with bodybuilding is incredibly important because you are trying to manipulate body water.
Correct.
So that's why daily weigh-ins can be, especially as you get closer to a show.
Right.
And in a lot of cases, if you're cutting weight for a strongman or a powerlifting competition, then it can. But if we're talking about general population making sustainable health changes, we have got to move away.
Do it once a week.
Once every 3 days.
Yeah, once or twice a week is probably fine.
You're probably good. And if your rate of weight loss or weight gain is not where you want it to be, then you can start to add in a couple more weigh-ins and see okay, I ate a lot of carbs last night. This really bumped me up the night. So maybe I need to cut some late night carbs. Then you can start to make manipulations around that. But I really think general lifestyle coaches, we need to be a little bit better about, we're going to weigh ourselves maybe once every 3-4 days.
Yeah. Do a Sunday, Thursday situation.
This is something I've been really trying to work on because like I said, I love coaching powerlifters. I love coaching bodybuilders, but I really do find fulfillment in helping normal people, quote unquote.
Yeah, who just want to get healthier.
Who just want to make a change because I've experienced that. The amount of freedom that gives you, especially if it's a weight loss. If it's a weight gain thing too. Don't, I'm not,
you've helped
all my
people with
skinny
weight gains.
kings, I'm with you as well. I can put some meat on your bones. Yeah. But approaching the diet with the same level of intensity that I would with a bodybuilder or a powerlifter just doesn't work most of the time. Mm-hmm. So you have to kind of change up the way you work with people that way. Like people have one framework and one, what's the damn, the thing we learned in psychology.
What, a schema?
Yeah, there you go. Nice. I'm glad you picked me up there.
I think about schema a lot, actually.
There you go. People have one schema.
I think about schema the way that guys apparently think about the Roman Empire. Do you think about the Roman Empire often? How often?
Not as often as some. Probably once or twice a month.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I don't think about them at all.
Let me finish this.
Okay,
and then we'll get to the Roman Empire. Let me just.
Okay.
We have to be a little bit more flexible
yes.
with our approach.
Yes.
And even if you're going in this body composition change journey by yourself, you also have to be flexible. This is my problem with taking inspiration from these genetic freaks that you see on Instagram who are most likely using anabolic steroids as well.
Sure.
We won't go there, but let's just say they're genetic freaks. Their genetics allow them to train and eat in a very specific way that may not be applicable to you and to the general population that they are trying to sell programs to.
Yeah.
So be wary of that.
Yeah. I remember a couple of years ago when I was trying to lose a little bit of weight. I think I wanted to lose like 10 pounds. You helped me figure out a calorie goal. I was tracking my calories. It was going really well. But then, it was like we would, on a weekend, once or twice a month, we would eat out.
Yeah.
And I would try to track it, and it would be so much higher than I was supposed to be. And it would really, really bother me. I'm like, this is terrible. This is ruining my life. And you're like,
nope.
It's really not that serious.
Yep.
Like, you're doing a great job overall. Look at the trend for the whole week.
Yep.
Like, eat your tacos. It's not that serious.
In the long term,
right.
One meal is really it is a blip.
And like one day going overboard by even quite a lot is really not that big of a deal. You're going to get back on track.
You got to take the long view, right?
Right. And that's really hard to do because we do tend to get so rigid.
Yeah. And this
we get
is
in our
not,
routines, we get in our habits. That's a good thing. It saves our brain energy with having habits and routines. It is so important.
It's like we talked about last week. If you had to think through every automated process, you'd be dead in a minute.
You would never make it.
Right.
But at the same time, it's okay to let the plan go for a day or two.
There's always a pendulum because we talk like this, and then there's people out there that say, "Okay, so we're just going to let people off the hook. They don't have to put in any work." This does not excuse discipline,
right? What I'm saying is, like, have your plan, stick to it, be disciplined. But when it's your mom's birthday party,
be flexible.
Go and have some cake and ice cream and like whatever fun food your mom wants to have for her birthday. Yeah, and then get back to your plan tomorrow. You don't have to not go to the party, or you don't have to not eat anything at the party and have a terrible time. Yeah. It's not that serious. Have some fun and leniency in your life here and there.
The level of the goal has to dictate the attempts to reach that goal.
And like
if you're a competitive bodybuilder.
Right, I was just going to say, if you're Chris Bumstead and it's your mom's birthday the day before your show, maybe don't have cake and ice cream. This is what I'm saying. But
normal people are approaching diets and body composition changes with the rigidity and the perceived discipline of a professional Olympia athlete. Level bodybuilder.
It's like you're not LeBron James. Take a day off.
You can get great. That can be a great start and great inspiration. But 9 times out of 10, I see people just burning out trying to mimic their favorite. Yeah, and you don't have to do that. It's better to go and have some fun and some leniency occasionally every now and then, so that you can stick with this long term. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because here's the dirty little secret about bodybuilding or powerlifting. They're doing these extreme cutting and bulking cycles very controlled.
Yes.
And then when they retire from the sport of bodybuilding, they're not going to do that anymore.
Right. It's not fun.
It's not fun. It's not sustainable. It can be very dangerous for you metabolically.
Yeah, it is not fun.
They are doing it for a specific outcome. It is not a healthy sport.
Right. They're doing it for a specific outcome within a specific time frame.
Right.
It's you have this show or you have this meet and you do this really boring, draining thing.
It's difficult.
For, a couple of months at most, and then you have your meet or you have your show. What do you think the bodybuilders are doing as soon as they walk off the stage? They're having a good meal that they probably haven't had in 6 months.
Most likely,
good for them. So it's not even the people at the top, not even these genetic freaks, as you like to say, are doing this strict, crazy thing 100% of the time.
Right.
No human being is doing that.
No,
except for David Goggins, maybe.
I don't know, man.
I don't even think David Goggins is 100%. Like, he probably has a piece of cake on his mom's birthday,
maybe.
too.
I don't know.
Maybe. If there's anybody who doesn't, it would be him.
But yeah, it's... it's a big thing that I see a lot of people just get caught up in. It's like, I'm going to do exactly what this guy did because this guy has the physique that I want.
It's like, did you wake up as this guy?
Brother.
Like, you're not this guy.
You don't have the genetics. You don't have the lifestyle.
You have different preferences even.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that as a negative.
You might like different foods.
I mean, God forbid.
Fine.
Like if I look at, Chris Bumstead, or there's this dude on Instagram that's just chef's kiss in terms of physique. And like he's on a ton of anabolics.
Yeah.
Which my life and my choices do not allow me to take that road.
Yeah.
So I will never look like that guy.
Good for you,
fine.
Good for him. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It truly does not matter.
Just you got to kind of tweak with things until you find what works for you.
Yeah,
and until it's something that you can stick with.
The problem is the first sign of trouble equals quit instead of readjust.
Right.
I used to fall into this trap all the time.
Yeah.
2 weeks in, 2 weeks in, you get those crazy hunger pains.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done. If I had been a little bit more intelligent and had the knowledge that I have now, I could have looked at a plan in which I was eating 1,800 calories a day and said, oh my God, I'm 330 pounds. I have a large frame. I have a decent amount of muscle on my body. Maybe this amount of calories is setting myself up for failure. And readjusted and realized at a diet of 2,800 calories, I still would have been losing weight at a pretty damn good clip.
And you would have been a lot more satisfied.
And it would have been more sustainable.
Absolutely.
So
because that's what you do now.
Right, exactly. I mean, I guess it just took me chipping away.
Well, because
for a while.
That's the thing is like, you're talking about
my biceps.
Like you eating 1,800 calories is like way too low.
Right.
That's probably what I eat most days. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different for everybody.
Everybody's different.
You're an individual. You have to treat yourself like an individual.
We're an extreme example of people being of different body types and having different calorie needs.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's a good illustration.
100%.